Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business, no boss, distractions everywhere and never enough hours in the day. Together we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Darren Gibb. Darren helps solopreneurs and small business owners turn LinkedIn into a lead generation engine. With a decade of sales and teaching experience and 5 years mastering social selling, he combines AI tools and content strategies to fill calendars, book high-value calls, and build sustainable growth. Yes, please, Darren, I'm looking forward to this. Welcome to Goalbusters.
Thank you very much. Were you reading that, Robin? That was memorized, wasn't it? You weren't reading that,
Oh, yeah, I do it all
No.
from memory.
I thought it was.
I can't even remember my own name sometimes.
Good to be here, my friend. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And whereabouts in the world are you?
I am in Madrid. This beautiful Spanish accent should be very clear exactly where I hail from. So no, I'm in Madrid, Scottish original, well, still Scottish, but yeah, I live in Madrid. That's where I've been for the last 13 years. So
Oh, wow.
more or less Spanish these days.
Wow, I don't know how you go out in the daytime in all that sunshine. It must have been quite a shock. It's probably taken you 13 years to get used to it.
Not far off, not far off.
Yeah, okay. What part of Scotland are you from?
Edinburgh. So grew up in Edinburgh and then lived in sunny, beautiful, stunning Aberdeen for 8 years. Beautiful part of the world, as I say. And then moved to Madrid 13 years ago.
I'm very privileged to say I've briefly been to both of them and they are beautiful cities. But I've been to Madrid as well, but I didn't see you. All right, I'm waffling on. Let's do the questions instead, shall we?
Let's go for it.
All right, I'll get the clock up on the screen and there it goes. Darren, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
Ideal clients are coaches, to an extent some SMBs as well, and typically more the go-to-market crew, the engineers, the experts, and so on. Essentially, anybody who is running their own business, whether it be coaching solopreneurs in general being the umbrella, so to speak, but with them and helping them to really actually get content that converts. The ideal client part comes where you actually, though, are determined and want to do the work. If you want me to do it all for you, that's great. It's a higher retainer though. So determined solopreneurs who are tired of just spinning their wheels with the same LinkedIn nonsense.
Okay, I'm all ears here, and so let's dive in a little bit deeper. What exactly is the problem or the problems that you solve for these people?
Well, I mean, typically what we see are so many talented people. I see it in every space, coaching space, but the GTM space especially. So many of them 10, 20, 25 years experience. But when it comes to selling themselves, they're really not great at it. And it's the same for coaches and it's the same for solopreneurs. They tend to all have one thing in common, Robin. They're great at selling other people. They're great at really getting other people's business and words out there and growing, but they struggle with their own. So in the LinkedIn minefield of templates and fluff and nonsense, that's really the problems that I solve. I help them to create content that converts, that is aligned to them, their values, attract the right audience, repel the wrong audience, and then help them with their DM strategy, because you can have the best content in the world, but if you don't know how to get calls booked through the DMs, then you're not going very far. And finally, how to close that deal on the sales call.
Fantastic. That sounds amazing. So what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to go some way towards solving this problem for themselves?
Well, people, I mean, all the gurus, Robin, you'll have heard it yourself. Speak to their pain points. Speak to your niche's pain points. This scientifically is bullshit. About 3% of people are bleeding neck problem, massive pain. Yeah, I need it solved now. Here's my credit card. I just need to find the right person. 3%. But 8% or so will have the pain point in so much as they're aware of it, but they can stick a band-aid on it for another 6 months and they shouldn't bleed out, right? They'll figure it out themselves. It'll be okay. I'll get around to it. That means about 90% of the people reading your content, watching your podcasts, are not pain point aware. So to speak to pain points actually is why you end up deflecting so many people. So instead, it's about symptoms. Focus on the symptoms. So a pain point is I don't have a coherent DM strategy that takes people from my content into the DMs and gets sales calls booked. People are aware the DM strategy is a pain point. But if you say to 90% of people, they won't identify with that. But if I was to say to you, I tell you, it's rubbish when you're in the DMs and you start kind of, try to feel around and talk about their work, how you get ghosted. It sucks, doesn't it? Yeah. So when people are symptom aware, you're able to lead them closer towards the pain points. So that bit of advice is stop focusing on the pain points because you're discounting 90% of your audience when you're doing it. Speak to symptoms instead.
Amazing. All right. Thank you very much. That's fascinating. And I love the approach there. I understand what you're saying and I think it's brilliant. But now that we do have a better understanding, a little bit better, because I don't really give you much time of what you do, let's dive into goal busting, focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve business goals, which is what we're talking about after all. So could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits? And of course, if you want to tie it into on LinkedIn, that would be awesome.
I don't mind doing it at all. So for me, AI has been the godsend. I'm pretty riddled with ADHD, so productivity and all those sorts of things are certainly not my forte. So I use ChatGPT in a couple of ways. What I do is a little bit, perhaps, no offense, Robin, but like yourself, we can go off in directions and tangents. So if, for example, I do a lot of webinars, I do a lot of free webinars to be getting people in, paid webinars. I've got group calls that I do. So what I love doing instead of the real productivity hack is sitting and chatting for 5 minutes, 10 minutes to ChatGPT. Put it in the role as somebody who's like an ADHD coach who helps people to structure ideas and has a background in productivity and to structure all of the ideas into logical parts. Then I would get it to, for example, is to put it into a rough slide structure, 6 bullet points, 1 title for each slide of about 12 to 15 slides long, and then begin to build it that way. Then I use an AI tool called Gamma, Gamma. If you've not tried it out and you're still using PowerPoint, it's going to blow your mind. And I take the ideas that's been structured out because they're still mine, make changes to them, put it into Gamma, and it builds a slide deck. So for me, AI and ChatGPT is what's really made my productivity different level, but having the right structured prompts is really important. Make me a plan of what I've just said is not going to cut it in the AI world.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I don't usually agree when somebody says, and you didn't say it by the way, somebody says, oh, you can 10 times your productivity or 10 times, because I always think, oh, that's rubbish. But with AI, it's like 100 times what you can achieve, things that you just would never have gotten around to. Once you get proficient with using it, there are some skills which we don't have time to cover, but once you get proficient, and you've mentioned that.
And that's the key, Rob, and it's getting proficient. People think ChatGPT AI is no good. Nah, you're no good. Rubbish in, rubbish out. Learn to structure a prompt. It's not difficult as it sounds.
No, if you want better quality answers, ask better quality questions. It's an old coaching maxim. All right, so now that we've done that, so what should I have asked you today that I didn't, Darren, and your answer, please?
45 seconds. You should have asked me, Robin. Darren, why the is value dead? Everyone says to post value. 2025 and especially 2026, value is dead. It doesn't exist. Valuable content. What does value mean? It's an abstract content that people have been getting away with for years. Here's why it's dead. Let me go back to previous question. ChatGPT's killed it. Give me 5 ways that people can be more productive. You get the same nonsense spat out. People copy it, change a few words, paste it, and that's a LinkedIn post. We now need to lead with insights, experience, and expertise. What makes you, my friends, different from every other coach or whatever it is you do on the market? That is what sells in 2026.
Look at that. And you did it in exactly 7 minutes. And I couldn't agree with you more, actually. That's right. I mean, if everybody's asking, AI for the same questions and then say, oh, I could put that out there. The point is, everyone is asking those questions and getting the same answers. And so that isn't really adding value either. So I love it. Thank you so much.
What's so good as well, though, is people like yourself and myself, because we do have that expertise, insights being the key word here. And this October 2025 algorithm really focusing on the insight, because there's so much fluff out there created by ChatGPT. Professionals, experts have never had it easier. It's never been easier to stand out amongst 1.1 billion people. And that's really good news for those who understand it.
Thank you. That's a real gold nugget of information there. And speaking of gold nuggets of information, it brings me to my final question, which is, how can people reach you? Because I'm sure they would, after listening to this, they would want to find out more. And also, is there like a valuable free resource they can get from you, which I always say is a bit of a cheeky question, but actually it's not. It's a serious way of breaking down the barriers of communication so people can find out more about what you do, and then they may feel even more about what you do, and then they may feel much happier contacting you after that.
Absolutely. And you're right there. Let's get away from the idea that free can be such low, here I'm going to bring in that word, value, because of ChatGPT again. When it's done the right way, it bridges that, it allows people to discover and find out and know more about you, your values, your way of thinking, your way of solving problems a lot greater. So people can go to my website, Robin, www.darrengibb.com. Nice and simple. It's scrolling along the bottom right here, folks. Come on, just go there. On it, now I'm gonna from memory, obviously, just like you earlier on, Robin. All right. On it, you get access to my 3 most popular GPTs to save you hours of content creation and improve your skills. So you get the hooks generator. The hook, people are about 0.4 seconds to capture their attention. Most people do hooks badly because they're templated. This GPT aims to try and teach you what a good hook looks like and helps you to formulate your own. There's also what I call quote to content. So quite often what we want to do, there's different stages which I don't have time to get into, but there's something I call super top of funnel. And what we can do is take a quote of our own or somebody else's, put it into there, and it'll help us begin to build out the content that's going to be most relevant for it. There's also the DM objections box. As I said earlier on, the DMs are the most important place you need to be. If you're not sending out 15 DMs a day, 15 connection requests a day, and 15 high quality comments a day on LinkedIn, please don't cry that you've got no leads. That's why you're not putting the work in, my friend. So what the DM Objections Bot does is it simulates a conversation with a potential prospect. You've got easy, medium, and hard settings built into it. And the aim is within 10 to 15 back and forth comments to try and get a call booked. It will then allow you to have the call with it or not, so to speak. But the real genius, I feel, is it gives you really detailed feedback using psychological and sales frameworks to explain why what you've done well has been good, but more importantly, what you need to do to improve on. It'll even reference certain answers that you gave and break it down for you step by step. And you'll also, as if that wasn't enough, you'll get a lucky dip. So I've got 181 of my previous group calls that I've had with my clients. I want you to have access to one of them. So it changes every week, but you're going to get a lucky dip. One of my best calls brought out that lucky dip for you and delivered to you just for signing up. And then you'll get between 3 or 4 emails a week from me, just giving you no nonsense, no fluff, straight to the point advice that you can interact with and you can implement tomorrow. That's the idea, Ron.
Fantastic. Wow, what an amazing package that you're giving away there, and that's absolutely brilliant. Well, Darren Gibb, it's been amazing. Thank you very much. The format, unfortunately, restricts us on the actual format today of Goldbusters. I love picking your brain there and the information. It has been an absolute masterclass. I've really appreciated you taking the time to do this for us today. Darren Gibb, thank you for appearing on Goldbusters.
Thank you so much, Robin. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, my friend. I'd love to do it again sometime. Thank you.
Thank you again. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com. gptspodcast.com.